welcome you all here. Thank you so much for coming and supporting everybody in the class. You can see they've had a little bit of rough go. I should say there is a fair amount of classroom that's involved in this too. It's not cool to show on the video, so just so you know. But to start out, if I could please have everybody stand, and we're going to have the Honor Guard and Pipes and Drums lead the academy in. Class President, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's give the Honor Guard, Ada County Honor Guard and the Caldwell Pipes and Drums a big hand. All right, if you could all be seated, please. So before we get going with the oath and all of the good stuff that make this ceremony ceremonious, we're going to have the students stand up and explain who's here to support them today.
I'm Deputy Ivy, and supporting me today are my parents, my wife, my son, my grandparents, and several other friends.
I'm Deputy Satterfield. I've got my mom, my dad, stepmom, and my beautiful fiance here.
I'm Deputy Matt Leonard. Here today is my wife, my baby daughter Emma, my parents, and my friends.
I'm Deputy Omerovich. I have a mom, my dad, my 3 kids, my beautiful girlfriend.
Deputy Schultes, my parents, my wife, and our 2 kids.
Officer Mark Walkholder. I got my wife, my in-laws here, and some friends that came out from California.
Deputy Zach Bebuck, got my beautiful wife, Promise, my mom, stepdad, brother, and some other grandparents here.
Officer Zach Scudlow. I have my wife, Ashley, my uncle, my brother-in-law, my good friend Kyle.
Eric Wilson. I have my wife, her family. I have my dad, my mom, my siblings, and a lot of other friends.
Officer Albers. I've got my wife, 2 daughters, my mom and stepdad, and my dad here.
I'm Deputy Agazade. I'm here with my beautiful wife, my 2 kids, my parents, my in-laws, and a few of my friends.
I'm Deputy Johnson. Here today is my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, and my grandma and my friends.
I'm Deputy Smith. I have my husband, my 2 kids, my parents, grandparents, and in-laws.
I'm Deputy Rosales, and I have my husband, my kids, my siblings, and my in-laws.
I'm Deputy McRoberts, and I have my grandparents, my parents, my siblings, my niece and nephew, and other friends and family.
I'm Deputy Wills. I have my grandparents, my dad, my sister, my boyfriend, and some good friends of mine.
All right. And again, I thank you all for coming. I also want to thank all the Caldwell Police Department folks that are hiding in the back there. Put your hands up. But yeah, no, they're not even putting their hands up. Look at them. But thank you for coming to support all your folks in the academy. And of course, thanks all the command staff and other employees of the Sheriff's Office that are here. Do we have any elected officials that are here today? It's hard for me to see with these lights. I just didn't want to miss anybody. Nobody's hand went up. Okay, no problem. So what we're going to do before the class comes up here is we are going to have them read the Code of Ethics, and we're going to administer the oath of office. And for the Code of Ethics, I think it's important for those of you that aren't in law enforcement or maybe weren't in the military that when they take this job, we expect them to actually live their lives in a very different way than some other people choose. And because they wear a badge and they represent all of law enforcement here in the Valley or in the country, it's very important that they're looked upon in a positive way, both inside of work and outside of work. So I'll have them read the Code of Ethics, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the oath of office. So, Class President, can you lead the group to the stage, please?
Sorry. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to protect the constitutional rights and freedoms of the people whom I have sworn to uphold.
While I consider the way I choose to conduct my private affairs a personal freedom, I accept the responsibilities for my actions, as well as inactions, while on duty or off duty, when those actions bring disrepute on the public image of my sheriff or my chief, my fellow deputies or officers in the law enforcement profession.
I will perform all of my duties in a professional and competent manner. I consider the ability to be courageous in the face of danger and to exercise restraint in the use of my power and authority to be the ultimate public trust. I accept that I must constantly strive to achieve excellence in learning the necessary knowledge and skills associated with my duties. I will keep myself physically fit and mentally alert so that I am capable of performing my duties according to the standards expected of my position.
I will be fully truthful and honest in my dealings with others. I deplore lies and half-truths that mislead or do not fully inform those who must depend upon my honesty. I will obey the very laws that I am sworn to uphold. I will comply with the standards of my department and the lawful directions of my supervisors.
I will treat others with courtesy at all times. I consider it to be a professional weakness to allow another's behavior to dictate my response. I will not allow the actions or failings of others to be my excuse for not performing my duties in a responsible, professional, and expected manner.
I will empathize with the problems of people with whom I come in contact. However, I cannot allow my personal feelings, prejudice, animosities, or friendship to influence the disciplinary authority of enthusiasts of my job. I will avoid conflicts and potential conflicts of interest that could compromise my official authority or public image.
I hold the authority inherent in my position to be an affirmation of the public's trust in me as a deputy sheriff. I do not take this trust lightly. As long as I remain in this position, I will dedicate myself to maintaining this trust and upholding all the ideals of the Ada County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession.
As law enforcement officers, everyone is administered the oath of office. And I always point out that it's only 3 sentences long. And it seems longer when you say it because the words are pretty heavy. Because, like I said, we expect a lot from them, and they understand that. And by administering the oath and accepting the oath, we know that they will perform their duties to the best of their abilities and give service to the public in the way that the public demands. Class, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States of America. And the Constitution and laws of the state of Idaho. I will earn the respect of others. By being ethical and professional at all times. I pledge to carry out my duties. To the best of my abilities. And bring honor to my agency. And to myself. So help me God. So every academy class has a class president that is elected by the class to represent them. And this year, that class president was Officer Heath Albers. So if I could invite Officer Albers up to the stage. And while he's coming up here, yeah, let's do that. And before Officer Albers speaks, I want to point out that Commissioner Rod Beck is hiding in the back there. He didn't raise his hand, but I want to, there he is. I want to throw my appreciation to Commissioner Beck for coming out here and supporting the Sheriff's Office and the Caldwell Police Department. Thank you for coming out.
Good afternoon. First, I want to thank Sheriff Clifford and Chief Ingram for working together to make this academy possible and for giving us the opportunity to pursue this career. I also want to thank the academy training staff for their dedication in preparing us for this profession. Their depth of knowledge, skill, and willingness to pass on the knowledge to the next generation of deputies and officers cannot be overstated. A special thanks goes to Deputy Turner and Deputy Alfaro. They are lead trainers for our class. I think I speak for the entire class when I say they are truly fortunate to have you guide us. The entire training cadre was excellent, but the two of you made this challenging 19-week academy not only harder when it needed to be, but also enjoyable at times. And you never let us get too comfortable. Ada County is lucky to have both of you as the team members. I want to take a moment to recognize the friends and family for here today. Some of you guys came a long way. Thank you for your support, not only today, but throughout the academy, and the support you're going to give us in the weeks, months, and years to come. We know this profession is difficult and demanding for those that wear the badge, but we also know it's difficult and demanding for those that support us. Thank you for your sacrifice and the ones that you'll be making so that we can pursue this calling. And to my class 252, you guys made it. It's pretty great. You're a group of strong personalities. You came in with a lot of diverse backgrounds. We became a team, we became friends, and we helped each other through this journey. The class is full of leaders, which can pose a lot of problems, but it worked out. And any one of you guys could have been the class president, but I'm honored you guys chose me. And now I'm kind of wondering if it's just that you didn't want to do the speech. So I'm pretty sure that's it. So each academy class chooses a motto. It represents who we are and what we stand for. Our training cadre wasn't too fond of our choice at the first, and in fact, they made fun of it a lot, and they gave us more than a few chances to change it, but we stuck with it, and I'm glad we did. And I would think that they actually came around and like it as well, but I'm not gonna ask them. We chose the motto, "Say when." It was in the video. It's a line from the movie Tombstone, spoken by Doc Holliday in a tense moment just before he draws his gun on an outlaw. He says it with confidence, knowing he's prepared and trained for the fight ahead. We adopted the motto to remind ourselves that we too must face challenges with courage, preparation, determination, to step up, act, and win the fight in front of us. This bold statement can be said with confidence if we know we've prepared well, and I think we have. As Deputy Alfaro reminded us a few weeks ago, this academy has given us everything we need to begin this job, but it's also shown us just how little we do know and how much we have to learn. Today is a celebration of our achievement, but it's not the finish line. It's the start of our continued training and growth. We cannot afford to become complacent in this line of work. I encourage each and every one of you to strive to be the deputy and officer that you would be wanting to show up when your family is in need. Be the deputy or officer that's ready and willing to step in the gap between evil and innocence. Be the partner others are relieved to hear when you're coming on the call to back them up. Keep studying, keep hitting the range, keep putting on the PT gear, and hit the mat. Because from here on out, our development is in our hands. You will face challenges ahead we haven't seen before, and they may come sooner than we think. But I know every one of you has what it takes to face them. If this academy has taught us anything, it's that we can push through the fear and the discomfort, rise to the occasion, and not back down. I watch each of you get pushed to your limits and come through on the other side victorious. I know you guys have what it takes. You've all earned this badge today, and I'm proud to graduate with each of you. And I'll be proud to stand next to you with that badge on. I'll leave you with a quote. True courage is not the absence of fear, but it's the willingness to act in spite of it. Success belongs to those who step forward with fear in their hearts, but determination in their soul. So I pray today that God will watch over you, protect you, and bless Class 252. Thank you.
Great speech, officer. I can see why he's class president. That thing about not having to give a speech is probably partly true, I bet. Officer Albers made mention of Deputies Alfaro and Turner as being their training coordinators. Just a pivotal position in the agency for our academy folks. They are with them every step of the way. All of the cliches, right? They're with them in and out every day, showing them all of the things, but really guiding them at the very beginning of their careers. So I want to thank you for that and the great work that you do. That we really don't have enough of them, and so they work double time to make sure that these things happen. They do a really great job. So with that, I'd like to have Deputy Alfaro come on up here and say a word or two.
Well, thanks, Sheriff, for the kind words. Good afternoon, and want to thank everybody for coming out. I know, hi, buddy. That's my son over there. He's real excited. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I know it's already been said, but your support to each of these officers and deputies is paramount. I know that when we put stress on them, that stuff tends to go home, and stress you guys out as well. So thank you for being patient, for being supportive, and for being a listening ear for them. To Academy 252, congratulations. Finally met this first mile marker in a hopefully very long and successful career. I want to thank each of you for your hard work, your positive attitudes, and for allowing Deputy Turner and I to be a small part of your career and the start of your journey here. It has honestly been a pleasure and an honor to have worked with each of you and to watch each of you grow in your abilities and in your confidence. The last 19 weeks has not been easy. It has been a lot of what you saw in the video, but like Sheriff said, majority of the academy is a lot of classroom time, a lot of lecture. They consume a lot of caffeine and a bunch of other snacks. There's a lot of stressful tests, scenarios, lots of push-ups and squats. But you all showed up every day, ready to learn and ready to put forth your absolute best effort. And regardless of what was going on in your personal life, you guys were focused and dedicated to doing your best. And that is something that you all should definitely be proud of. There are many lessons learned during the academy, not just around how to be a deputy and an officer, but the importance of arriving on time, remembering all of your gear, and even how to turn off a water spigot. And I'll let them fill you guys in on that story. But the consequences of those mistakes came in the form of physical exercise, a few reports, but all of that was done to encourage learning, to help you to become stronger, but most importantly, help you guys come together as a team. You guys learned the importance of looking out for one another, helping each other when in need, and I'm pleased to say that you guys learned that lesson very quickly in the academy. From an early point, you guys came together as one team, regardless of what discipline you were going into or what agency you were hired for. And I encourage you guys to continue that forward in your career. Being able to perform as an individual and becoming proficient in your skills and abilities is vital for surviving this career. But without your team, you're not going to make it. You guys learn to depend on each other. And again, I encourage you to continue that and to continue that mindset of working with others, helping when you see a need, not just at work, but at home, and supporting your families, giving them the attention that they deserve, and meeting the physical and emotional needs that they will require as you continue in your career. Because you can be the best officer out there, but one day you're going to have to depend on others to help make sure that you go home. And they're going to be depending on you too. So with that, I encourage you to continue your career with a lifelong learner mindset, to seek out challenges, find ways to test yourself, push that line of what you think your limits are, and look for opportunities to find or to be uncomfortable. During our mat time, you guys learned that pretty quick and what discomfort feels like. I encourage you to continue to seek that, not just in the mats, but in the day-to-day duties that you will face. In that discomfort is where you're going to find the most growth and fulfillment. As was mentioned earlier, there are going to be a lot of rough days ahead. Some days in PTO where you're going to feel like you can do absolutely nothing right. And there's going to be other days where you feel you did everything absolutely right and to the best of your abilities, but you still had a bad outcome. In those moments, remember your team, not just your peers working on the road or in the jail with you, but your family as well. Those relationships will keep you humble, keep you focused, and keep you motivated to continue giving your best. I am proud of each of you, and again, honored to have worked with every one of you, and I look forward to see what you guys will do in your careers. Now, before I get off stage, I'm going to present a few awards. In each academy, there's a handful of awards that we will give out to students based on their performance. The first award is going to be the top physical fitness. This award is given to the individual with the highest average score when it comes to our physical readiness test. We do one in the beginning and one at the end. This person demonstrated a very consistent, well-rounded fitness level throughout the entire academy and provided some good, friendly competition for the cadre and his fellow classmates. This award goes to Officer Heath Albers. The next award is going to be the top shot, or top marksmanship. This award is based upon the highest average score from multiple firearms qualifications, including handgun, rifle, day and night quals, as well as several other shooting courses, like the combat shooting and tactics course. And this award goes to Deputy Eric Wilson. Next award is the top academic student. So this is given to the student who has the highest average score across several of our written exams, including the Idaho Post exam, which is their state certification. And this award goes to Deputy Matt Leinard. All right, the last award that I'm going to announce is our top overall student award. This is given out to a student who's demonstrated high performance across all of our tested subjects. This is calculated by the highest average from their written exams, their firearms qualifications, and their fitness readiness test. And this award goes to Deputy Eric Wilson. And the last award that we hand out is the Sheriff's Division Award. And for that, I'm going to turn the time over to Captain Vogt.
Good afternoon. My name's Jake Vogt. I'm the captain in the Jail Services Bureau, where many of you will be working soon. For those coming into the jail, welcome aboard. I do have the privilege of announcing the recipient of the Sheriff's Vision Award. Before I do, I would like to recognize a few folks in the audience. So if you fit the following couple categories, can you please stand up to be recognized? If you are current, former, or retired military, can you please stand? And if you are current, former, or retired first responder, police, fire, EMS, can you also please respond, or please stand? Thank you for your service. Thank you, everyone. So the Sheriff's Vision Award is given to a deputy that best exemplifies the vision, mission, and values of the Ada County Sheriff's Office. And for the Academy graduates, whether you realize it or not, from day one until yesterday of the Academy, not only were your instructors teaching you, instructing you, mentoring you, but they're always also observing for some certain characteristics that go into the final decision for the Sheriff's Vision Award. So again, the training cadre were asked to reflect on the Academy students and select the one member of the class that best represented the vision mission, and values of the Ada County Sheriff's Office. Our vision is we will lead the way in providing public safety for our community. Our mission, we make safe places for you to live, work, and play. And our 4 values are integrity, that people can trust us to always do the right thing, both personally and professionally. Service, we care about the people we serve and always try to help them. Dedication, we are expected to work harder and go the extra mile for each other and members of our communities. And the last one is attitude, the positive way we interact with others and we approach our responsibilities make all the difference in the world. So again, all those characteristics have been sought after, looked for by the training cadre in all the Academy members. And I will now read the citation before announcing the recipient. So this deputy was chosen as a recipient of this award because each day he displayed a high level of professionalism, positive attitude, and dedication, all values of the Ada County Sheriff's Office. He is always willing to help anyone in need and gives his full effort to whatever he is doing. This deputy has also dedicated himself by exemplifying the vision, mission, and values of the Ada County Sheriff's Office, making sure others can trust us, caring for those we serve, always going the extra mile, and making sure that we carry out our duties with great conviction. And, excuse me, it is my honor and privilege to announce the recipient of Academy 252 Sheriff's Vision Award is Deputy Joseph Ivy. And now I do have the honor and privileges of turning the microphone over to my good friend, Chief of Police, Rex Ingram of the Caldwell Police Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me in the back? Yes? Cool. Thank you. I'm Rex Ingram. I'm the Chief of Police in Caldwell. Been in this role for pushing 4 years. And, you know, this is probably the most exciting part of my job, aside from getting put on Facebook every day. But truly, graduations bring each and every one of us in the executive level or anyone that's been on the job for a little bit of time back to day one. And it reminds us of why we all chose this profession. You know, the sheriff talked about the badge and touched a little bit about the weight of the badge and what we do. And this isn't just a job. This is a lifestyle. It's a calling from God. And we're here in church. And this could not be more of a fitting place to do this graduation. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time we've had it here. And so thank you very much for the church staff for hosting this wonderful venue time and time again. But I just want to talk about, you know, right now in this country, there's a lot of division happening, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of polarization of politics and immigration and all these things that are happening around us. And you guys sometimes are caught with that potato when the music stops without a seat. Because law enforcement is the most visible form of government. When everyone else is asleep at night, the judges, the elected officials, no offense to Commissioner Beck or Sheriff Clifford, it's the thin blue line that's out there, keeping the democracy of this republic intact. It's you guys that are out there, answering the call of duty, protecting and serving, the most noble profession in the entire world. And although there's hate out there, although there's all this negative rhetoric out there, you guys are the difference between good and evil in this country. And the reason why there's thousands upon thousands of people still lined up at our southern and northern borders trying to get into this imperfect country that we call United States. And so I want you to really think about that, the awesome responsibility that our founding fathers, when they wrote that Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the Gettysburg Address and all these other things that have happened in history in this country and where we are today. And you are the only thing keeping this place from full anarchy. And you're going to have a lot of really hard days. But you know what? You're going to have a lot of really, really good days. And I want you to take a look around you right now behind you, because the men and women that sit behind you and the kids over here, they need you more than anything to come home. And as the chief of police, that is my ultimate responsibility, and your sheriff's responsibility, is to make sure that you go home at the end of your shift, you have the proper tools, the training, the technology, the funding, and everything else to do your job to keep our people safe in this country. And we ask a huge, huge, huge amount of great work from you. And you guys will do it so selflessly, without fear, favor, prejudice, ill will, malice, politics. You answer the call of duty. Last year, we lost Tobin Bolter in a very tragic, tragic incident. And that sent shockwaves across this country, and definitely across this region. And earlier this year, your sheriff and myself had the honor and privilege of riding a bicycle from essentially New Jersey all the way to Washington, D.C., which kicked off National Police Officer Memorial Week, 315 miles, and riding in Tobin Bolter's name. And in 2026, we're going to do it again. And hopefully we inspire all of you guys, the ones that are in shape, maybe not Heath because he's, he'll kick our butt, but that's what we do. This piece of tin on our chest costs us virtually nothing. It's what it represents. And each time we take a pedal stroke on those bikes across the East Coast to get to our nation's capital represents a life. The more than 24,000 law enforcement officers that are on that wall in Washington, D.C. that paid the ultimate sacrifice. And so I want you guys to think about that, because this isn't just a job. Like I said, it's a lifestyle, it's a calling. You are the true difference. And I'm so proud and honored to have a partnership with one of my best friends, Sheriff Matt Clifford, to have the Caldwell Police Department join for the third year and the first time in history of our two agencies together at this academy. And I'll leave you guys with this. The greatest threat to public safety in this country are not the adversaries, guys. It's not BLM or Antifa or the defund movement or ISIS. It are organizations that live in a world that no longer exists. And you are very blessed to have your sheriff, your elected officials in Ada County, our mayor and council, that fully support law and order in our communities and fund our police departments and sheriff's offices in this valley to make sure that we deliver the very best service. And that's what we expect from you. Take the tools and the training we give you and go out there and crush crime. Thank you very much. Be safe.
Academy 252, prepare for the pinning of the badges. Family, also, if you are going to be pinning the badges, you guys can get ready as well. Right over there by Sergeant Nicole Hudson. Okay, first we have Deputy Matthew Gazadeh. He was born and raised in Southern California. He was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps and worked as a motor transport operator. His goal is to join the SWAT team and become an instructor. He will be getting pinned by his wife, Bianca. Next, we have Officer Heath Albers. He was born up in Orofino, so technically he's a native, although he spent the majority of his life in Oregon. His wife and kids moved back to Idaho in 2021 to start a new life. He hopes to use his life experience to help move the Caldwell Police Department forward in a positive direction in whatever role they need him in. His youngest daughter, Eden, will be pinning his badge. Next, we have Deputy Zachary Bebuck. He was born and raised in Boise and came from the Ada County Jail as a detention deputy for 5 years. One of the goals that he has is to be a canine handler, and his grandmother, Jeanette, and wife, Promise, will be helping pin the badge. Next, we have Deputy Joseph Ivy. He was born in Fairbanks, Alaska on December 5th, 2002, and shortly thereafter, he and his family moved to Boise, Idaho, where he grew up. After high school, he enlisted in the Army and served for 4 years before being hired as a detention deputy for the Ada County Sheriff's Office. One of his goals is to be a member of the SRT within the jail, and his badge will be pinned by his father, Justin Ivy. Next, we have Deputy Cecilia Johnson. She's from Sacramento, California, and moved to Idaho in 2021 to attend Boise State, where she graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Her career goal is to work with an apprehensive canine, and her parents, Wendy and Tim, will be pinning her badge today. Next, we have Deputy Matthew Leinard. He was born in Boise, worked for the Ada County Sheriff's Office for about 8 years. He started in the jail and wishes to be a part of the drone team. Eventually, down the road, he would like to be a persons crimes detective. His wife, Ashlyn, and his daughter, Emma, will be pinning his badge. Deputy Michaela McRoberts is next. She was born and raised in Idaho, and she graduated from CWI with her associates in criminal justice and worked in inmate property in the jail for 2 years prior. One of her career goals is to learn as much as she can in this career and one day transfer into patrol. Her mother, Tracy, and her dad, Mike, will be pinning her badge. Next, we have Deputy Sean Omerovic. Sean was originally from Bosnia and was a child when the war broke out in his homeland. He remembers when the United States stepped in to help in providing hope, freedom, and safety for his family during a time of crisis. Grateful for the opportunities he found in America as a result, Sean has spent nearly 18 years in corrections and private security as a way to give back. He came to Ada County because of the wide range of opportunities within the justice system, and his long-term goal is to serve on the SRT team, court services, and eventually moving into patrol. Pinning his badge will be his girlfriend, Lona, and his son, Sam. Next, we have Deputy Irma Rosales. She was born and raised in Boise, Idaho. She has an associate's in criminal justice and has worked for 3.5 years as a classification tech. One day, she wants to be part of a DUI task force or a domestic violence detective. Her husband, Diogo, and kids, Vanessa and Junior, will be pinning her badge. Deputy Daniel Satterfield is next. He was born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and previously worked at the Bluebird Express Car Wash. One of his goals in the agency is to become an instructor. Pinning his badge will be his fiancée, Courtney Pearson. Deputy Curtis Schultz was born in Parker, Colorado, and has prior law enforcement experience as a deputy for the Orange County Sheriff's Department. His career goals are to be on the dive team and also to be a detective. Pinning his badge will be his wife, Kate, and his 2 sons, Luke and Jackson. That was the best part of being up here, was when you said hi. Zachary Scudlow is one of our officers from Caldwell, and he is from Santa Monica, California. He was the most recently a department supervisor at REI. His career goals in law enforcement include successfully testing in the SWAT team and working with Operation Safe Streets. Zach's wife, Ashlyn, will be pinning his badge. Deputy Courtney Smith from Wisconsin. Her career goal is to eventually go to patrol after gaining knowledge and experience in the jail. Her husband, Brandon, and children, Gabriella and Gunnar, will be pinning her. Officer Mark Wachholder is from Chicago, Illinois. He has no prior law enforcement but did 20 years in the Marine Corps as infantry. One of his career goals is going to be in the SWAT team or on a motor. His wife, Jaylee Wachholder, will be pinning his badge. Deputy Courtney Wills is from the Ada County Jail and has worked there for the past 7 years. She has her career goal to be a canine handler. Pinning her badge will be her grandfather, Rich Wills. Last, we have Deputy Eric Wilson. He was raised in eastern Idaho and moved here about 10 years ago. He's worked for the Ada County Jail for the last 5. He wants to become a firearms instructor and an armorer. His wife, Hope, will be pinning his badge.
Well, congratulations, everybody. This is the part where I close it out. I'll try and be brief so you can all get to the BSU game at home. It's probably recording, I'm sure. Chief Ingram touched on a lot of things, a lot of heavy comments, because that's what this job is. It becomes kind of heavy. The badge becomes heavy. It's kind of a cliche, but it is. But I need to thank him first and foremost. We are really good friends, and he's got me into plenty of things that help open my eyes to how I can help law enforcement. He loves the job, he loves the people, and I applaud him for that. And I really love that we have this partnership where we can train together and be across the valley from each other and be able to help each other all the way across the valley. So I just so appreciate him. He said, "Where do you want me to stand?" I said, "I want you to stand right here beside me." This is such a great class. I know some of you, since you've worked at Ada County for a little while, there's some of you I've just met. I don't mean to keep bringing up Officer Albers, but I'm also very disappointed that he and I are the same age, and and I limped up here in a bad knee. So we'll see how he's going places, I think. But I was thinking yesterday. What do I say? I try to say something different at the end of each graduation, so I don't repeat myself, and so all my employees don't have to hear the same thing every time I get up there. And I was thinking, I want to talk about our mission. The Ada County mission is we make safer places for you to live, work, and play. And I'm going to relate that to a weird little story that happened to me this morning. I went down to the courthouse to actually have a meeting with Commissioner Beck, and I went into the security office where the deputies and the marshals where they're housed, and one of the courthouse sergeants was in there, and we were chatting, and one of the janitorial staff came in and was just so excited. I mean, I don't know who she is. And she just loses her mind, and she runs up to the sergeant, and she gives her a big hug. And she said, "Thank you so much, thank you so much." And of course, I'm like, what happened here? Well, it was something very simple, and I promise this will be well related back. She had a piece of equipment, janitorial equipment, that had been faulty. The sergeant sees her using it every day and trying her best to make it work. She's a hard worker, never complains, doesn't want to bring it up to her bosses. So the sergeant just reaches out to her boss, with a friendly email that says, hey, we noticed this lady works real hard and her equipment is faulty. Can you maybe just buy her a new thing? And it happened overnight. And I couldn't believe how ecstatic she was. But then I thought about our mission and what does that mean? Safer places for you to live, work, and play. I think we should expand our minds beyond just the safer places. Safer places mean helping people have a better quality of life in our community. And that tiny little gesture, that weird tiny little gesture, made that lady's whole week. And I'm not saying that you have to make everybody's day, and you're not gonna. And I'm not saying that, not everybody, right? But what I'm saying is the small things you do out in the public, wearing those badges, patches on your shirt, the uniform you wear represents not just the sheriff's office, not just Caldwell PD, but it represents everyone. And I'll say everyone and every cop in America. And those tiny things you do may have an impact on someone that's the only time they ever have interaction with law enforcement. Now, if you're working in the jail, that's a little different story. Most likely, those people have multiple interactions. I'm just spitballing. But they are also part of our community. And you will see very quickly, if you have never worked inside the jail, that it is a community. And sometimes the smallest things you do help those people get through crisis that they're having. It actually helps them behave. And once you get in there and get into that training program, you'll understand what I mean. We treat people like human beings. We take all this training we saw in the video and we apply it. Don't you worry. I'm glad you're going to have it and you're going to need it. But also don't forget that the law enforcement in this valley, we hire human beings to do human being work. This is a people business. If you haven't heard me say it before, I always joke how I order my groceries from Walmart and some stranger puts them on my patio and rings the doorbell and runs away. You know, everything I order on Amazon, some stranger puts it on my patio and the doorbell they don't even ring the doorbell. The camera sees them, it goes off, they know it went off, they run away. We will never be in that business. We'll never send a drone to your house to say, how can I help you, sir? What seems to be the problem? We'll use those to enhance the services that we provide. But you'll never see us sending a machine or a robot to someone's house. People have to help people solve people problems. Sometimes that means being tactical. Sometimes that means getting in a fight. Sometimes that means helping someone in crisis. It can mean a lot of things. But sometimes it means someone just needs a little bit of help. The janitor that just needs just a little thing to make their life that much easier. So remember that when you're interacting with people. And I'm not sure if I said it to this class or not, but there are all kinds of contacts when you interact with the public. The person that only interacts with law enforcement one time, they're going to spread their story far and wide on social media, at barbecues, with their church groups, you name it. That interaction they had with you will stick in their mind forever, and that's their view of law enforcement. So keep that in mind. That's important when you put on the badge, that's your representation. You know, Chief Ingram also said that we're the most visible piece of government, and I would take that even further, and I know my staff have heard me say this. We're also the most intrusive form of government. And keep that in mind. There's no other form of government that kicks down your door, stops you in your vehicle while you're trying to go to the grocery store and says, don't move from this space. Get out of the car. Don't sit down on the sidewalk. Don't move. That is very intrusive government. But that's what we have to do in order to keep law and order. So make sure you take your training, you take all of those ethics, all that code of ethics that you read, you take them to heart, because we don't want to lose public trust by being that intrusive form of government and using it poorly. What we do, we have to do, but make sure you do it right. And I believe in you. If you made it this far, I believe that you can do it. I would say if you make it past the hiring process, you at least deserve to work here. But that's why it's so stringent, right? That's why the public keeps us under a microscope. They should, because of the things that we do day in and day out that other people don't do. No one else has this job. So I applaud you for coming here. I applaud you for signing up. In whatever capacity you're going to work in law enforcement, it's going to be tough. It's going to be fun. You might cry. You're going to laugh for sure, but you're going to love it. It's so rewarding, and you won't even be looking for it, and you'll go home and you'll feel rewarded, and that's important. So, class president, can you present the class for me? Ladies and gentlemen, I need to introduce you to the future of law enforcement in this valley. Congratulate Class 252. Thank you. Feel free to take photos out by the vehicles or up on